Welcome to Booster Bestiary. I'm your host, Dustin Knight. Let's go ahead and get cracking. Boo, boo, boo. Alright, so today we got 4 magic packs, a Pokemon pack, and an old Wyvern pack. Almost kind of hoping not to pull the Wyvern because they are fairly generic fantasy creatures that could apply to almost anything. Oh, hey, Katie, how you doing? Alright, let's roll. I got a 2, so we get to crack open a Dungeons & Dragons Forgotten Realms Magic the Gathering booster pack. Exciting, exciting. Haven't been able to crack many of these packs myself, actually, since I've been on hiatus from drafting and only cracking what I have for these shows. So let's see what we got here. So first up, we got here an Earth Cult Elemental. Man, the camera is looking focused tonight, isn't it? Look at that. Love it, love it, love it. If anyone is looking for a cheap camera with this kind of quality to play games online, you can check out my No Direction article all about document cameras. There's a lot of online play done via cameras, which I find really fun for stuff like Commander, since you could show off your altered cards and what have you. Alright, so when an Earth Cult Elemental enters the battlefield, it rocks and rolls. It's a big, rocky, rolly Earth Elemental. We could definitely do something with that. Here we have a Steadfast Paladin, a Dwarf Paladin. It's a Dwarf Paladin. Not too much we could do, but if we get a white spell that is interesting enough, we could combine it with the Dwarf Paladin and perhaps get something more engaging than simply a paladin that heals. Shortcut Seeker, we have a rogue that ventures into dungeons. It's a standard adventure, but once again, we might get a blue spell. Here's a red spell now. This would work interesting with the Earth Elemental, make it more of a volcano, Earth volcano, that kind of thing. I still have the Bleach Goatee Magic the Gathering you made for me. Yes. What Katie's talking about here in chat is I used to be really involved in the custom Magic the Gathering cards community. I even at one point have a Reddit account that just finds memes and turns them into Magic cards. But I enjoy making cards for my friends based on their characters, especially in ongoing campaigns, play-by-post forums. It's fun. It's a fun little memento, and then I print them out and use them in a box set. Play DC 10 with them, which very fun variant game. I should maybe do a show on that on Friday. Actually, it's a really fun way to play card games. All right, so Devour Intellect. It's an intellect devourer, devouring somebody's intellect. Yep. Sylvan Shepherd. Here we have a druid that heals. I actually really like healing druids. I don't see enough of them anymore. I know they were a big thing in like 3rd and maybe early PF1. Most druids focus so much on the shape changing. And when people think healer, they just tend to go like, I guess I'll be a cleric. Or recently, I guess I'll be a phoenix sorcerer. Which I do love the idea of phoenix sorcerers that heal. I do love the phoenix sorcerers. I'm a big sucker for them. I think they're totally cool. Alright, so we have a cleric that heals and destroys enchantments and gets rid of graves. Cool, cool, cool. Let's go through a little bit faster. You hear something on watch. I love that. Choose one. You either rouse the party or the thing on watch sets off a bunch of traps. Love it, love it. Love those choice cards like that. We have another elemental, cult elemental. Neat, neat, neat. Air Cult Elemental. Oh, there's Earth Cult Elemental. Oh, right. It's the Cult of Elemental Evil. Okay, yeah, I should have really recognized that. Did they make a Zugant Moy card in this set? I don't think they did. I didn't look at spoilers too carefully for this set. Man, ooh, Blue Dragon. Isn't that pretty? Look at the artwork for that. Complete borderless. Oh, that is just gorgeous. Enters a battlefield. You make a creature tiny, tiny, tiny. It doesn't have flash, though. Until your next turn. Still, that's so weird. I mean, I feel like this card really needs flash. Like, I guess I make it too good as, like, a finisher, which they didn't want to be, so I get it, but, like, I don't know. Alright, here's something cool. Legendary. Room abilities of dungeons you own trigger an additional time. Someone took the time to carve these inscriptions. The least we could do is care enough to read them. Oh, that is so Pathfinder. That is so dang Pathfinder. Man, that would be a really... I'm putting this on the maybe list. I'm putting this at the bottom as a maybe list. My initial idea is to make an NPC who... you don't want to kill them. Like, they're meant to be an ally, but they need the stats, and their worst abilities, they have supernatural bad luck that just triggers hazards over and over again. So, like, that would be a really cool, engaging encounter, wouldn't it? You have this NPC that's just making your life worse, but you're not supposed to to bonk them over the head. Alright, so Crittel of Bartle's Gate. When Crittel of Baldur's Gate deals combat damage to a player, they lose a life and mill a card, and then you gain a life and scry 1. A human elf rogue. Whenever you attack, you may pay 2 if you use your creature can't be blocked this turn. So it's an infiltratey rogue that has some psychic powers. That's cool. Okay. Westgate Regent. Oh, I love this old art. Look at that. That is so TSR era, real TSR era. Just gorgeous. I love that artwork. When he deals combat damage to the player, you put them in one encounters on it. Ward, discard a card. He's a vampire. He's a little harder to kill than most vampires, but I'm not getting inspired to make a Pathfinder creature based on this as much as I am Hama Pashar. So let's see real quick if we have any. We do have You Heard Something on Watch. I kind of like that too. Okay. I think I got this now. I'm going to use Hama Pashar and You Heard Something on Watch to make a card. Or make a Pathfinder 2 monster here. If anyone did want to see one of these other cards made into a monster instead, please go ahead and tell me. Y'all, that kind of limitations breed creativity, as they say. And being asked to make something always has me wind up with something more interesting than I started with. So let's go here to... Where is the focus? Website focus. There we have it. All right, so last week we did Mowu and Kazandu Nectarpot. I managed to get to 2 creatures in 30 minutes. I was really excited for that. They were fairly simple creatures. The Nectarpot's basically a flash beetle that you could drink after you kill it. And Mowu was a spirit dog with a few less abilities, but it could get really big if it gets buffed with a status bonus. What do we have here? Droskal Armnet is instead. There we have it. You hear something on watch? Great. Alright, so Hama Pashar Ruin Seeker. Alright, so we have a human wizard. Let's first thing we always do is we go to the bestiary and we look for a similar enough monster, unless people want me to make it from scratch. But I would rather at least have some kind of a baseline I'm working off of. So if we go to NPC, is there a Pathfinder? There's a Pathfinder field agent. Okay, so Pathfinder is a form of NPC. The field agent's a level 4. That's good for a 2-3. I like Pathfinder Field Agent. We're going to work on Pathfinder Field Agent, but I'm probably going to have to work to make it less of a... This is kind of a rogue. I want to make it less of a rogue and more of a wizard. So I'm going to have to adjust. In fact, in that case, we should... Yeah, let's not do that. Let's look up a wizard instead. Adept is a mystic. Is that what we're looking for? A mystic? Adept, cult leader. No, we're looking for like a wizard, right? Wizard. A mystic, a hero reader, a villain, a performer. I guess they're just called mystics when they're caster NPCs. So let's go mystic. We will go make him a level 5. Okay, yeah, let's just work off of a template here actually. So first thing we gotta do, of course, is clear the pot, and we'll go Hama Pashar. I think Pashar is a last name of an existing NPC in Pathfinder anyway, which is kind of funny. Alright, so she is, I'm going to say lawful good just because she's white-blue. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to assign the alignment. If I'm wrong, if anyone knows more about Hama Pashar and what her alignment should be, I guess I could go look it up. Hama Pashar, a human wizard adventurer with a keen interest. She is a... Man, her alignment is not given in the wiki. You think that would be a sidebar, right? Just alignment. She's interested in secrets, adventuring. Man, they didn't give an alignment. That is so strange. Okay, whatever. That's good then. Alright, so, Hama Pashar. Let's go ahead and look for a baseline, which are under base roadmaps. We're going to make her a intelligence-based spellcaster. We will go ahead and give her the human and humanoid. Yes, human. So let's give her human, humanoid, medium. Good. We'll make her a level 4. I liked that level 4 for some reason. That worked really well. Under languages, she looks like she has a lot, but let's give her common, Ancient... I'm gonna roll a die. Ancient Aslanti. I don't know, Elven? Sure, why not? If anyone has any other language ideas, she's gonna have at least 3 more languages. So, if anyone has any languages they really like, any fantasy creatures they like, I'll know what language they speak. And you could just go ahead and tell me. So let's keep her dex. Let's switch her dex and her con. She is not very dexterous. She wants to be dexterous. She wants to go through those ruins, but she just isn't. She is not very good at that, which is the whole point of this character. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for a character who wants to explore these ruins, but not very good at it. So I kind of like the low charisma for this character. So I like the idea that people don't necessarily like being around them because they tend to get in a lot of trouble. That works for me really well. AC 15 is fine. You're probably not going to be attacking her anyway. Always think about... I like her having a low reflex. Maybe I should... In retrospect, I should make the dex high because she does survive these disasters. So the dex should be higher. But I do want to make her perception. Her perception should be pretty high too, actually, because she is looking out for this. Let's go high perception, despite the moderate wisdom. Good on saves here. Good on hit points. Should be a little high. She has a lot of defense. Let's make the hit points high. Lower end of the high, though. No resistances, no immunities. She is just a human after all. We'll give her moderate acrobatics. You always want to list acrobatics. You always want to list athletics, which should be low. You should want to list crafting with an explorer. You should probably want to list deception with her because she's going to be used in a lot of, which will be low, like a 4. She'll be used as more social encounters, so you will want to list that. Medicine, nature, occult. Oh, Arcana should be high. She is a wizard. And society should be high because she is an explorer. But let's also give her a moderate survival and a low thievery. I like giving her a low stealth too. Okay, it's a lot of skills, but there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. Let's give her a staff. Man, what cool staff could she have? Are we good on time? Oh, we're great on time. Let's give her a cool staff, shall we? Staff. She's level 4. Oh, good. That's the staff level. So healing, poison, mentalist, animal, or fire. Cool. I'm going to give her healing. That's how she survived all these. And that way, the party won't absolutely hate her. Is it still called Explorer's Kit? I want to say it's called Explorer's Kit. Yeah, so I want to give her a Staff of Healing because she's going to be forcing hazards to go off. And that's... People aren't going to like that. So if she has some healing, she could make herself... Even though she's an arcane caster, she could still heal a bit with her staff to kind of give the party reasons to not completely hate her. Because you don't want the party to just be like, we're just going to knock her out and tie her up. We won't kill her because we're not evil, but let's give her 20 foot speed. For attack, we'll just give her a staff strike. So, staff... Give her a low to hit, 4, a low damage of 1d4 plus 1. We'll quickly look up what a staff has. I think it's two-handed. Staff is two-hand 1d8, so let's make this two-hand 1d6. Oh, did that put double parentheses? It did. All right. So, yeah, I gave her the Staff of Healing because I don't want the party to absolutely hate her. Speaking Orin and Aquin. Oh, thank you, Chad. I love that. That's a good idea. All right, so let's give her Aquin and Orin. Awesome. Some elemental getting in here, huh? Great. That's awesome. Is there an elemental staff at low level? There is not. That's fine. All right, so... Staff of Healing, gotta look that up really quick. Magical Necromancy Staff. It has Stabilize and Heal. I think you have to be able... Supply crafting. For some reason, I forget if you have to know... I think you have to be able to cast the spell to use the staff, right? So she will need some kind of skill to use it. Let's give her high religion. She explores ancient ruins. That means knowing about the religions in those ruins. Religion's really good for rune delvers in any role-playing game. So real quick, I do want to give her basically the skill feat. Trick magic item. Just in case people wonder why she has a divine staff. Not 1,000,000% sure if you need it right now, but I will check that after the show. I've never even thought of putting a staff on somebody who didn't need it before, so I'm just not 1,000,000% sure if you need that or not. So trick. Oh, it's under Arcana, isn't it? Trick magic item. Alright, so I'm just going to give her that special ability right now. It'll just be under General. No actions. Oh, it's one action, actually. Trick magic item. I'm not even going to write it out because, like, it's long and we know what trick magic item does. It's a skill feat. Alright, cool. Oh, I should write that then. General, manipulate, skill. Cool. Now everyone knows. Yeah, that's the skill feat, trick magic item. That's how she uses that staff. And I love the idea of the Ruin Delver having trick magic item. I think that works really well. Explorer's outfit, thieves tools. I'm giving her thieves tools. Let's give her a spell book. Great. Alright, so under spells, she definitely has to have light because she's casting it in the art. It looks like she's reading by touch, which I hope they made that spell. Read aura, read the air. Object reading, right. That looks like she could be using object reading, which is a first level spell. Just give her object reading. I don't want to give her too many good combat spells anyway, because she is meant to be an NPC who you are basically guarding. Read the air? Nah, she wouldn't have that as a dungeon delver. She could have message. No direction. Because if you want to know the path, you have to know direction. If you want to find the path, you have to know direction. There we go. No direction. By the way, check out No Direction tomorrow on Wednesday. They are interviewing the guy behind the owner, I believe, of Hero Forge, which is going to be really exciting. Alexander Agunas of No Direction Network has been making Hero Forge minis of all the staff members and posting them to Instagram and Facebook for quite a while, and they're awesome looking. And the new Hero Forge color printing, it feels new, it's a year old now, but the Hero Forge color printing is awesome. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of cool insights into miniatures and Hero Forge's general and where they're going in the future with it. So check out the show tomorrow on No Direction, Twitch TV/No Direction. And check us out on the No Direction Discord, because that's where I hang out most of the time. Let's give her guidance, because I want her to be able to do something when combat starts other than causing people problems. It's not much, and it can only be once per ally, so it's not too good. Let's give her at least one first level spell she could actually use to help out. Oh, I forgot to click arcane. Are these all arcane? Is guidance arcane? It is not. I gotta get rid of guidance. No direction is, though. Right, please. It's not? Can you believe no direction isn't? Wow. Alright, no direction is not, in fact, a arcane cantrip. That is something else. Oh, I gotta put in her fact. She's a spellcaster. Arcane. She is a second level caster. No focus points. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and just give her... I would give her Tanglefoot, but I find a lot of GMs don't... It's a bit of a complicated spell, and I don't like giving NPCs spells that would make GMs have to look them up. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather give her Electric Arc. Detect Magic, Electric Arc. Yeah, Approximate. There we go. I love Approximate. Everyone knows what that does because it's such a weird spell. Approximate, Electric Arc just to give her some damage, so she's not just not doing anything during combat. Oh, she's a 4th level caster. Why does it go up to 12? Okay, 2nd level spells. Spells. Oh, that's what's wrong. Okay, it said second. Second. It was a weird typo. All right, cool. Let's give her Alarm. which is going to go into one of her class features. And let's give her a 2nd level spell. Animated Assault would be funny, but I don't like it too much. She likes light. She likes exploring. Dark Vision? Yeah, I'll give her Dark Vision. Oh, why would she be using light if she has Dark Vision? Never mind. Let's not give her Dark Vision. Let's give her Rapid Add Mirror Image. Let's give her let's give her Mirror Image. She has to have some way to defend herself. Oh, Knock. Let's give her Knock. She's a Ruin Delver. Knock makes perfect sense. All right, so she has a few spells, not too many. These are, of course, the ones she has prepared. She is not meant to be in combat very much after all. So there we have it. Additional spells, we could spend all night looking at all the different spells this NPC might have in their spell book. Just like, think about what I like to do when it comes to NPCs. If the PCs have any chance of getting hold of her spell book, wait till they get the spell book. Tell them, like, well, you don't have time to prepare them now anyway, so let's get back to it. And just think of, like, what spells have you wanted to see your PCs cast? I know it's jealous. It's as a GM, it's kind of a selfish thing to do, I suppose. But it's usually a good way to think of spells they don't already have. Because you don't want to give them a spell book full of stuff they already have. That's just lame. And if you have someone in your party who's obsessed with collecting spells, you know the type, like me. Whenever I play a prepared caster, write down the spells. Like, just during your scenario, go, man, if the wizard only knew web, they could get through this lickety-split. Write down web. Or text yourself web. Like, just, I have a Discord with a fake Discord account, or it just exists so I can text ideas. I just DM it. Which now I also have a private Discord where I dump files and stuff. I should probably just use that instead. But yeah, so let me turn off this light real quick. That is getting too hot. I have this little light here on my... There we go. That's much better. All right. So let's give her the ability. You hear something. All right. Set off traps. I love how, like, I thought of the idea when I saw her of having her have this ability, and then I saw it on You Hear Something on Watch, and I'm like, click. Got it. Alright, so set off traps is going to be no actions. It's an offensive ability, technically. Alright, so, is there a skill that does something like this? Maybe Thievery has Disable Device. You trigger the device. It's called triggering the device. That's the only word I had to look up for this. And feats. Thievery. Wary Disarmament. Legendary Thief. Subtle Theft. Alright, so. Hama Pashar. If Hama Pashar triggers a... Should I just say traps? Say hazard. Hazard. Comma. Now, how exactly would we word this? I want to make it so, like, she triggers the hazard, but it allows the hazard to reset super fast, or it even creates another hazard. So I guess it would only work if the hazard actually lets you reset. Reset in a hazard. Some hazards can be reset, allowing them to be triggered again. This can occur automatically, such as quicksand, or manually, like a hidden pit. Alright, if Hama Pashar triggers a hazard, roll a DC 5 flat check. On a success, the hazard is reset immediately. Let's give this the misfortune trait, so it can only happen once per round, and because it is misfortune. That would almost make this a reaction that she has to do. Well, it isn't. It just happens. She's an NPC. We don't need those rules exact. Well, we do, but I think it'll be okay. I'll ask about it. If she triggers a hazard, roll a DC 5 flat check. On a success, the hazard is reset immediately. On a critical success, which would be 15 to 20. Let's make this a DC 7. On a critical success, if the hazard is common, a second hazard appears. A second hazard. Another, not a second, because there could be two already. Another hazard with the same statistics is somewhere else in the room. Cool. On a critical success, if the hazard is common, another hazard with the same statistics is somewhere else in the room. On a critical success, let's say on the first critical success each day. No. On a critical success. And I need to do a semicolon. On a critical success, if the hazard is common, another hazard with the same, a copy of that hazard is also set in the room. Within 60 feet of the original. Only one copy can exist. Okay, let's make this a period. Let's go semicolon. Speaking Orin and Aquan, yes. On a critical success, the hazard, if the hazard is common, a copy of the hazard. On a critical success, a copy of the common hazard is copied within 60 feet of the original. This can occur once every 24 hours. Sure, that works. Alright, so set off traps is ironically bad. Well, not ironically. The original Here's Something I Watch, setting up off traps was supposed to be a good thing because it implies the monsters are getting hit. In this case, she's setting off the traps. Alright, so Amar Pashar has bad luck when it comes to traps. If she triggers a hazard, roll a flat check on a success. Alright. Cool. And so setting off traps and rouse the party. Room abilities of dungeons you own trigger a second time. Cool, that works. And rouse the party, I think, would be her only... Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Okay, I like this. Let's make this a 2-action. Let's make this a reaction to rolling initiative. Trigger. Hama Pashar rolls initiative. Yeah, I like this. Okay, I got this. Hama Pashar. All allies within 60 feet of Hama Pashar are quickened 1 for the first, quickened 1 for how long? I gotta look up classes, archetypes. Martial is always where I go if I want to see temporary quicken because I know it's there and it's such a good one. Martial, I'm just looking at how to word this. Because if you look it up the first time, you don't have to retype it a second time, and saving time is important until the end of their next turn. All allies within 60 feet of Hama Pashar are quickened until the end of their next turn, and they can use the extra action only to interact, to draw a weapon, to draw an item, find cover, or stride. At the end of each ally's turn, if they used the extra action, they then become slowed 1 until the end of their following turn. Awesome. Alright, I think that should just about do it for her, and we are good on time as well. So yes, how she works is she is meant to be an ally for the party. I can put this down in text and write as I talk. probably write faster than I could talk, actually. Where is text on this? Oh, description. Here we go. So, Hama Pashar is intended to be a bungling ally of the party. She is eager to explore dungeons and ruins, often to the point of endangering her allies. She has some utility as an adventurer and explorer, and has learned, and her misfortune has fortunately taught her to always keep an eye out for danger, which many adventuring parties are quick to take advantage of. Not take advantage is a bad word. Which many adventuring parties can appreciate. Awesome. So there we have it. Hama Pashar, Ruin Seeker. I love it. I love it. I love it. So thank you all so much for coming here and helping me out with this. I'm going to be back next Tuesday, of course, with another Booster Bestiary. Not 1,000,000% sure, but I should also be doing an Infinite Reviews, reviewing Pathfinder Infinite products on Friday at 4 o'clock. Pacific. So check out this channel and I will go over some amazing Pathfinder Infinite products for you here on Friday. We were off last Friday because Paizo had a huge stream with a bunch of cool content announcements and reveals, a bunch of crazy cool stuff about Absalom. There's some really great fiction up on the Pathfinder Paizo.com website. If you want to go check them out, there's at least 2 really cool Starfinder fictions in the last 2 weeks and a great Pathfinder fiction as well. There's some previews for Society stuff. If you check out the No Direction podcast, there's a really cool article by Nate Wright about the mechanics of death that I quite enjoyed, and I always feel like I need to relearn how the dying mechanics works in pretty much every game I've ever played, actually, because they tend to all kind of bungle up together, if you know what I mean. There's a great fun episode of Valiant that you could check out. I wrote an article recently ranking all the different runes that you could apply to weapons. So if you were ever wondering, if you ever want to see an Excel spreadsheet that very quickly shows a short description of every rune with a link to the Archives of Nethys page, it's right there in the article for you, which was what I really, that was the reason for me writing the article, is I was looking at Archives of Nethys at the runes, and I think I clicked on disrupting like 3 times before I remembered, oh yeah, it's about undead, not about disrupting spellcasting. I wish they put a little description that said like what the thing was about, so I didn't have to click all the time, because while the names are descriptive, they're not always the most descriptive, and some of them are a little vague. So having one page where I could instantly see what all the runes in the game do, how much they cost, what level they are, it really helped me out. There's a great Pathfinder year in review on Legend Lore. They went over all the releases. Luis, Lauren, and Ryan went over all their favorite releases from 2021 from Paizo. This year was stacked. I mean, Ancestry Guide came out this year. Can you believe Ancestry Guide came out this year? Ancestry Guide came out this year? Crazy. Like, it feels like 2 years, 3, 4... I know Pathfinder 2 isn't even 4 years old, but Ancestry Guide feels 4 years old. This has been a heck of a decade this last year. Bestiary 3, Mwangi, Secrets of Magic, Guns and Gears. I mean, the release time for Pathfinder 2 has been insane. There is so much content for this great game. I mean, Pathfinder 1, it would have been choose one. The Ancestry book, the Magic book, or the Gunslinger Adventure book. You would only get one of those. Maybe 2 in a really... you'd get 2. You'd get 2. But usually, you'd get, Mwangi plus Secrets of Magic. You wouldn't get, 1 in December and 1 in July. You wouldn't get, 6 amazing hardcover books in a year? Oh, so much content, and I absolutely love it, and I want more. I want more. I want that thick Absalom phone book. And in a little bit of a content warning here, there was also a very important article posted by Owen Casey Stevens. A freelancer had some some problems with the new Absalom book specifically, and here's that content warning. Slavery is mentioned many, many times in the book, like a gross number of times. Any time is bad, but like an obscene number of times. And for those who don't know, Absalom, the central biggest city in the setting of Lost Omens, they had a big event like 3 years ago that outlawed slavery, and it was, you know, this big multi-table event in Pathfinder Society where all the Pathfinders got together and we fought hard to free the slave. Well, it was to defend against a siege, but we fought hard to get the word out there that any slaves who will fight will be freed, and afterward slavery will be abolished in Absalom. So it felt like a slap in the face to PFS. It felt unnecessary now that we realize how uncomfortable that topic makes so many of our players and how unfun it makes the game for so many people. Which a lot of people then say, well, just don't put it in your game. Yeah, well, some people play Adventure Paths as written. Some people play Pathfinder Society. Some people feel uncomfortable bringing up what makes them uncomfortable. Like, the GM the GM should be on top of that, but it would be nice if they didn't have to. The other problem, this is just me personal little talk, like, while yes, it just fine, it's great getting rid of it. I'm not going to miss it at all as a content. Even as a content you're supposed to fight against, that's fine. And the reason being is I've noticed almost every time, like I've run Broken Chains, I've run and played games where slavery plays a major role, and I gotta say, like, while it's an abhorrent act, it also makes for kind of a lazy antagonist. And almost every antagonist that I've seen in Pathfinder whose whole shtick is I'm a slave trader, they have a bunch of other stuff going on as well, where, like, even if you got rid of the slavery, they're really bad people and you should probably stop them. So, like, having neutral, lawful, etc. aligned humanoid intelligent creatures with slaves is just weird. So I'm not going to miss it. I'm glad it was brought up. You should check out Owen Casey Stevens' blog for that letter to Eric Mona, which Eric replied to in a very professional, candid way. It's a really important post. It was kind of the big thing in Pathfinder that happened this week. Hi, Improfit. Improfit, I will be looking to do another Infinite Reviews on Friday. So if you have any new releases, Improfit, go ahead and... oh, you do. I'm sorry, Improfit. Yeah. You're on the Pathfinder 2E subreddit, creative subreddit. So, creations subreddit. So yeah, Improfit, if there's not enough new Infinite products that I want to go over on the stream, I will be heading over to the Pathfinder 2E Creation subreddit, and I will be reviewing stuff there as well. I do love reviewing stuff there. It's a great subreddit. There's a lot of amazing content on there that you could use in your own game. Both Pathfinder Infinite and Pathfinder 2E Creations are incredible, and I love all the work that's being done on them. I've been pointing it to, I have a person in my own campaign who wants to play a dragon. They were going to do it with Synthesis Summoner, but there's some really icky issues doing that, and they just want to play a dragon, not a kobold who melds with an eidolon of a dragon. And I know Battle Zoo Bestiary is going to have their dragon ancestry book, but it's not out yet. And I'm not sure if I could get in the beta test for that or not. I should probably ask about that. But point is, we have found some homebrew ones, and we're going to go over them together as a group sometime this week, probably Wednesday and or Thursday, and I'll report on them. I'll talk about what my favorite dragons are. Love Louise Loza's Dragonkin on Pathfinder Infinite, and love the Samurai Sheepdog Dragonkin on Pathfinder Infinite. Those are really cool too, and I might just implement those and be like, it says Dragonkin, but we're just going to say dragon, and you're going to use these class abilities. Oh, thank you for that. Improfit just found that I have humanoid listed twice. I do. There we go. Humanoid. All right. Yes. So thank you very much, everyone, for showing up. Tonight we made Hama Pashar the Ruin Seeker a bungling aid to our allies who will cause hazards and traps to set off twice or even multiply throughout the dungeon in unexpected ways if the PCs can't figure out how to get her from not running around examining ruins haphazardly. Meant to be kind of a social encounter, but you give the social encounter stats because you never know when the PCs are just going to get fed up and be like, we need to knock her out and tie her up or we're not going to survive. Plus, monsters could always attack. You know, it's good to have stats when monsters attack. So here we have it, another allied PC. In addition, I just want to point out one little thing that's been irking me that I want to bring up now because it's on topic. I would love to see someone form rules for allied creatures. Rules other than use the monster stats. Because the monster stats are made for PCs to fight against. Like I gave her low damage on that staff intentionally because if she's in a level 2 or 3 adventure, I don't like it when NPCs are as strong as monsters when they're allies, unless they're intended to come in and save the PCs if they screw up. Animal companion stats. Thank you, Improvit. That's a genius idea. All right, if next time I'm making a NPC that's meant to help the allies, I'm going to use animal companion stats on them. Animal companions aren't exactly PCs. They don't get reactions unless they're vultures. And then maybe they don't get reactions. They only get 2 actions per round. But I think their stats are more in line with allied helping PCs. Alternatively, you could just use the summoning guidelines, in which case she could only be allied to a level 7, 8, or 9, like level 7 or higher PC. You shouldn't use a level 4 creature as an ally unless the PC is like level 7 or so. You just kind of, or I say or so because I'm not 1,000,000% sure. Check the summon monster entry and compare the level the monster entry gives you to the NPC level. That being said, once you hit level 10, throw those rules out the window because your level 7 PC or level 7 NPC will not survive being friends with level 14 adventurers. They will be squished to paste, up their AC and hit points, figure it out yourself. You always have to adjust stuff for your adventure. Like with her saves, if the place is full of gas traps where you need a high fort, give her that high fort or she won't survive, and she'll and you got to make it fun for the PCs. I mean, just saying your escort mission will already make enough of your players cringe. Make sure you make the escort mission winnable and fun, and make sure you make it so that the PCs don't just instantly hate and loathe the NPC who you've made them escort through a dungeon with traps going off left and right. Obviously. All right, so thank you very much for showing up. I had a great time. I will be back same time next week for another monster. I will also be back on Friday, 4 p.m. for Infinite Reviews. Thank you for coming to our show. I'm your host, Dustin Knight. Oh, and of course, as usual, have yourself a great week.